What up, YouTube? On this particular job, we're gonna be changing out this brake booster right there, that thing right there. So, what I'm doing right now, just kind of moving a little bit of stuff out the way to get to the task at hand. So this is a 2013 Chevy Malibu, and first things first, disconnected the battery. Got the expansion tank out of the way. So now we're just looking to see what all we got to remove. So right now I'm looking at removing the ABS, and we got to take the doggone master cylinder off in order to disconnect the brake booster from the firewall and the brake pedal inside of the car. So this is going to be a little bit more intense than normal, but with a little bit of practice, a little bit of time actually, you can probably do the same job at home in your driveway. So just stay with me. So now what I ended up doing, move the battery out the way so you can see a little bit more. So once you get the ABS, go ahead and focus. Get the ABS out the way. That's already taken and loose. That is a 24mm socket that you got to use for those screws that are on there, which that nut right there is what holds it on. So right back there on both sides, as I showed in the previous video. Right there. So once I get all of that out of the way, I go inside and take out the 2 bolts and disconnect the brake pedal so we can pull out this whole unit. And apparently it's a little bit different from what you're used to. Not by much, just a little bit. And I'll show you in a second. So we got 2 bolts we got to take off for the ABS. Got that one right there and the one back there in the back. Once you get that out of the way, you can move this out the way a little bit. But remember, these lines you have to be careful with, because they're hard lines, so it's gonna be a little stiff trying to pull it. So once you get it out the way, you can move on to that bolt right there. And the one, can't really see it, the line's in the way, back there, in the back. So now we're gonna work on getting those bolts off. So now all of this stuff is out the way. It's just a hole in there with a spring. So now I'm gonna go inside and disconnect from the inside, which is in a very precarious place. Well, not precarious, but perilous. So you look up underneath there, that's the back side of it. So you got a bolt right there, you got one that's on the top side. I can't really see from here. No, I can't really see from here, but it's up top there. Just know it's there. So the biggest thing is a little notch in there you had to push to disengage the brake pedal from the ball that sits on the back of the brake booster. And once we get that out, I'll kind of give you an idea what that looks like, and we'll go from there. So, something that I just learned, instead of trying to take it loose by the screws in here, right there, which is a 16mm, just come outside, use a 13mm, and put on these. Can't even see where my finger is. Yeah, right there. And just unscrew those until you can pull it out a little bit, and then when it's out like that, they're disconnected. So that one's done, and the one down there is done. All right, so now let's disconnect this brake pedal so we can pull this whole assembly out and see what we got. So now we gotta set my light up so I can see a little something y'all too. Now we gotta pop that ball off. Move this a little bit so we can get it pulled out. That's the master cylinder. I tell you, this is the business when you're trying to do everything in one hand and show it. So y'all, if y'all want to, kick in a little change and send me some money to get me a tripod or something. But I was gonna try pulling it out while I was recording, but I'm not gonna do that because I need both hands. I'll show you in a second. And that's what it looks like when it's pulled out. And you had to disconnect the master cylinder or the ABS. Just pull it forward enough so you can pull everything out. There's the old one, and the new one is in the box. So just got to pull it out and throw it on there. And I kind of walked it back through it as I do it in reverse. Okay, after fighting and getting it back in place, here's the new one back in place. So now what I'm doing is tightening up. You can see it a whole lot better now. Tighten up that one and tighten up that one with my 13mm ratchet, which I'm doing now. Once I get that tightened down, I'm gonna show you how to, the brake pedal's really easy. It just snaps back in. If you need a video to show how to do that, I'll do that too. So what I'm doing now, like I said, just tightening this up. Make sure you take that little rubber gasket and keep it on here, because you're gonna need that. Even though that's from the old one, the new one didn't come with one. As you can see, that's probably why he didn't get a new one. And it's not even stuck back there behind the plastic I checked earlier. And give me a few, and you'll see how that goes back. All right, we're back inside of the car. So theoretically, we didn't have to do anything in here as far as those bolts, because as you can see, they're still in place. I say again, they're still in place. So you do not have to touch those. You do not have to touch those bolts, those two bolts. So now, you fill up in there and make sure the ball of the back side connects to the, I can't even talk tonight, the brake pedal. And once it connects, all you do is just make sure everything's lined up right there, and then just clicks into place. That's it. All right, now we're gonna go back to the outside. So now, those bolts are tightened, and the master cylinder is back in place. So you can use a 15/16 standard wrench or 24mm to get everything to go back on. So now I'm gonna be putting everything back together. Got that mounted. Still got to mount the ABS. Running the brake booster plug, aka the vacuum, and put the battery back in. Once I'm done with that, it'll be finished. And just like that, everything is back together. Everything is running good. The brakes doing good. No air coming in. And that was one of the reasons why I changed it, because the actual seal busted. So when you press the brake, all you hear was air coming in. So now that all of that squared away, we got a perfect brake system now. No air coming in. Perfect. All right. Like, share, subscribe.